Happy Monday, everybody. It's March 31st, 2025. You're watching Mets Daily. Subscribe to Mets Daily. Share the channel with your family and friends. I'm Jake Brown at Jake Brown Radio. Make sure you smash that thumbs up. Click that button below. It helps the channel very much. Comment below. What's your thoughts on the Mets opening weekend? The Mets lose 2 out of 3 to the Astros, and in the end, the pitching was remarkable. It was the Mets bats that were cold all weekend, and there were very encouraging signs to take from the weekend. So anyone wants to overreact, they don't have enough pitching, their lineup is overrated. Stop. I get every game being into it. I am too. I want the Mets to win every night. They're going to lose 60-plus games this year. They lost 2 over the weekend to a very good Astros team. The Astros pitched well as well. So I'm not ready to lose sleep over Pete Alonso behind Juan Soto, although that is something to monitor. I never loved Pete hitting behind Soto. I wanted it to be Mark Vientos. We'll see. Francisco Lindor. Congrats to Francisco Lindor. He has no hits yet, but guess what? He's had a lot on his mind as he has welcomed his first son to the world today. Koa Amani. So Lindor with 2 daughters, Kalina and Amapola. Congrats to Katia and Francisco on their first son, having him on Monday, welcoming him to the world as he is out of the lineup tonight. We'll go through the lineup in a second. He is not in the lineup tonight, and rightfully so. Let him spend time with his wife and his family during this joyous occasion, welcoming their first son to the world, their first third kid to the world, but first baby boy. So this might be the one game Lindor misses all year. I'd expect him to be in the lineup tomorrow. If he's not, again, I think a couple of days you live with it. Like, it's your family. That's much more important than 1 or 2 Mets games. But knowing Lindor, I expect him to probably be in the lineup tomorrow. Probably is eating at him a little bit that he's missing a game, but family comes first. So he won't play in Miami tonight. But that's the big news in Mets land. And, again, from the weekend, I thought Griffin Canning was great. You can argue they could have pulled him earlier, but they pulled him when they pulled him. He was fine. He's not the reason they lost. The Mets were 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. That's why they lost. But Jose Siri, man, if this guy get on base, I know he looked lost at times trying to hit the ball, but when he got on base and then he comes home on that only Mets run, that was electrifying. His reaction was electrifying after celebrating, and that's kind of the spark plug you talk about when you compare Siri and Taylor. Taylor's a nice player, great defensive player. Not a great hitter, and he's not the same spark. When Siri gets on, he's a threat to steal any base. And when he came home, when the pitcher was lackadaisical throwing to first base, and he came home and scored by a hair, that's kind of speed and the kind of, station to station that this Mets lineup will need. And sometimes small ball is going to have to win. When guys aren't hitting homers, when Pete's not homering, Vientos, Lindor, Soto's the only guy hitting, you need speed. Need for speed. And that was one of my favorite moments from this opening weekend. The win was fantastic. Again, tremendous pitching. The bullpen was great. McGill shoved. All good signs for the Mets in their first win. And, a very weird schedule where Sunday, no game. And there was a great clip of Mike Francesa on his show. He couldn't believe it. He kept looking. He's like, can we make sure? Can we double check? How's there no baseball on Sunday? He's not wrong. It was just funny how he delivered it. But, what a weird schedule. Baseball, I don't know. They're trying to do different things to the game to get people to watch. That's not one of them, is to have an off day on Sunday. The torpedo bat is also not one of them. This can't happen. Good for the Yankees. They didn't break any rules. They hit missiles left and right. They had a ton of homers over the weekend in the Bronx. But, yeah, that bat needs to be banned. Because now more teams are going for it. Everyone's putting in the request for it because, it's a form of cheating. Let's get serious. Who wouldn't want all the barrel in the middle of the bat, all the wood in the middle of the bat, where you make contact at the home run? If that was to continue, it's going to get banned. But I think MLB needs to cut the cord quick, because if more teams start doing it, you see home run rates go up. Yeah, they're going to love it because ratings. But I'm sorry, how did this just happen now? 1, where was this before? And 2, how is this allowed? I'm not saying the Yankees are cheating because they didn't really break any rules, but I think MLB's going to have to step in and either say everyone could do it or nobody, because there's something fishy about it, and it's too small of a sample size to say that's why. The Yankees do have some power. They have home run hitters, and one of them is Aaron Judge, and he happens to hit 50 or 60 homers a year, so that's not crazy. But when everyone in the lineup is homering and everyone in the other team starts homering, there's something going on there. Now, Milwaukee, I guess, didn't use it, so that didn't matter. But when the Yankees start hitting 9 homers a game, something's got to be studied. So I don't want to go into a torpedo bat show. I don't want to make that this because it's not really related to the Mets at this moment. But I'm curious what baseball does. I do think they need to step in and make a statement, say something, do something. Because, people are going to cry cheating. If the Yankees, set a world record of home runs, I'm sorry, there's a coincidence to that. It's not just, wow, they hit 100 more homers than the next team ever in the history of the sport. If that were to happen, I'm not saying it will, but if it did, there would be something fishy going on. So we'll see what happens there. But back to the matter at hand. Good weekend for the Mets. And let's look at the lineup for today. It's 6:40 p.m. It's David Peterson making a season debut against Cal Quantrill. There is Lindor's new son right there. Beautiful, adorable son. And because Lindor's out, Starling Marte in the leadoff spot. How about that as DH? Then it's Juan Soto, Pete Alonso, Brandon Nimmo. Cal Quantrill is a righty. So you get Nimmo cleanup. You got Mark Vientos fifth. Mark Vientos, my home run pick for tonight. I was wrong on Siri. I'll take the L. I was right on Soto. I'm 1-1. Tonight's home run pick is Mark Vientos to hit a homer. Luis Torrens in the sixth spot. Brett Beatty is seventh against the righty. Luis Angel Acuna. This is why you have him on the roster. I think the Mets knew. I imagine they knew that Lindor's baby was coming. You need another shortstop. So I think that factored in. He's going to play short, step right in, play elite level defense, play short at eighth. Siri hitting ninth. I love that 8 through 1. Acuna, Siri, Marte. That's three guys that could swipe you some bags. And, man, if they could get on tonight against Quantrill and the Marlins bullpen, you expect some stolen bases tonight in Miami. You expect the Mets to be taking their talents to South Beach. You expect stolen bases and them to get the job done. They're going up against Cal Quantrill, who is a veteran, who this lineup has seen before. And when you look at, some of the matchups, Beatty does have a home run against Cal Quantrill. Very interesting, and 3 at-bats. So maybe Beatty watch tonight. Jose Siri is 2 for 2 against Quantrill. Lindor, not in the lineup, is 1 for 3. Pete Alonso has an RBI and 6 at-bats. He's 1 for 6. Starling Marte is 1 for 8. But it's Beatty, 2 for 3 with the homer. So maybe Beatty's the guy to break out tonight. Or maybe it's Siri. Should I have said Siri tonight instead of Saturday? Maybe it's Siri. But that's the Mets lineup, and all good thing. Jose Azokar, however we say his name, Azokar, DFA'd, ends up back on the Mets roster. He is in spring training in AAA. He is back with the Mets. Now, Alexander Canario, no word yet on him. It looks like there are teams interested. It doesn't look like he's going to pass through waivers unclaimed. I doubt he's back with the Mets, but we'll find out about that soon as well. But, this is a series the Mets got to win. It's too early to call this a must-win, but you got to win this. Lindor, by the way, is available off the bench tonight, apparently. So maybe he gets back to the stadium in time for the game. He is sitting, but maybe there's a chance Lindor does come in late tonight. So he is available, the Mets are saying, off the bench. But you got to take 2 out of 3 or sweep the Marlins. You have the favorable matchup tonight with Peterson against Quantrill. Tomorrow we get the goodie in Senga versus Alcantara. 2 aces going up against each other. And then Wednesday the Mets have Holmes versus Gillespie. They got to take 2 out of 3 and maybe even sweep. Thursday's an off day. And then Friday they come home for a rainy potential weekend for the home opener weekend at Citi Field. But, I think the Mets pitching has been great. Max Kranick, shout out to him. Back on the mound, pitched great. Let us know in the comments what you thought of opening weekend. I think there's no reason to lose sleep. This lineup's going to click. I think Lindor, the baby happening, it's a weight off his shoulder now. He knows it's arrived. Maybe he starts getting hot now. The baby's here. And there's not much to worry about. My worry is Pete Alonso's got to put better at-bats together. That's what I got to see out of Pete Alonso. Behind Juan Soto, he's going to get a lot of pitches to hit. Doesn't mean he has to hit at the first one. He's going to get more than the first pitch that he's able to hit. So he's got to stop swinging first pitch, put together a better at-bats, because if you have back-to-back at-bats of, 8, 9 pitches, you're working the pitch count for these starting pitchers to get to the bullpen early. So I got to see Pete Alonso, give the Mets some clutch hits. They rewarded him with $30 million. They gave him a second-year option if he does crap the bed this year. It's too early to worry, but I got to say Pete Alonso behind Juan Soto has got to have a typical Pete Alonso year, which is, 40 and 100 plus RBIs, 250 average, get on base at a 330 clip. Pete's got to have a big year. But Mets Marlins game 1 of 3 down in Miami before the Mets are home for Friday. We'll see you over the weekend at Citi Field. Thanks for watching Mets Daily. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm Jake Brown at Jake Brown Radio on all social media. Thank you so much for watching. Brandon Sproat got rocked, by the way. This is why you needed to see him in AAA. Let's see him for at least 2 months in AAA before you start calling for Sproat. I know he struck out the side, but he gave up some runs. He needs AAA time. And with the cold weather, with the Mets after Miami, cold weather and rain, that's going to affect some of this pitching as well. So the Mets were in Houston. They got the dome. It works out. Pitching dominated. Now you get Miami. Good weather. Dome there. So we'll see what the Mets do in Miami. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe. Smash that thumbs up. Comment. Follow me at Jake Brown Radio. We'll see you tomorrow after Game 1, Mets Marlins. Mets looking to go 2-2, rebound, and start the series right down in South Beach. Thanks for watching Mets Daily.